Okay, hi everyone. So today for science class, I'm going to try something different. I am recording the experiment. It is Tuesday afternoon at my house, and we will watch the video and hopefully it will process a little bit better on our Blackboard screen rather than doing it live. So I prefer to do it live, but let's see if this works a little bit better. So the experiment we are doing today is called Salty Layers, and it is from lesson 2-1 in your science book. It says, it is easy to think of layers when describing a cake or a pile of blankets, or even the layers of the earth. It's not so easy to think of the layers of water. It all just seems to flow together. Do layers of water exist? If they do, how would you be able to tell them apart? Ocean water is salty. You would expect water that is very salty to be found in deeper water. It makes sense to think that the water at the bottom of the ocean would be saltier than water at the top of the surface. Do you think ocean has different salinity at different depths? Which layer is the saltiest? So we will pause to make our hypothesis now. Do you think oceans have different salinity at different depths? Which layer is the saltiest? For today's experiment, we need salts, food coloring, bottles, 3 bottles. So I have just used some old glass jars, a graduated cylinder, that's this, spoons, and water. So here's water. Okay. So the first step says to fill each cup with 100 milliliters of water. I'm actually going to do that second, and I'll explain why in a second. Then it says add 90 milliliters of salt to 1 cup. So here's my cup. I'm actually going to do the salt first because if I get my cylinder wet, my salt is going to stick to my cylinder. So let me turn on the light. It's getting a little bit dark in here. Winter is coming, guys. Well, fall, and we know we change the time in fall, right? So this is my graduated cylinder, and one of them needs 90 milliliters of water, and so 90 is about right there. That's a lot of salt. So let me pour it in. Okay, even it out here. Okay, so 90 milliliters of salts will go into one of my jars. That's a lot of salt, right? Okay, so now it says 45 milliliters in another jar, which is half of 90, right? So we're going to put about half the amount of salt. So I like doing these experiments because I really think that science should be hands-on and fun. And I really hope that when I do these experiments for you guys and we work through what they should look like together, that you guys will try this at home. So this one's 45 and this one is 90. So now I'm going to put the water. So it says 100 milliliters of water. Let me move this back a little bit. There we go. Here is my water. I'm going to put 100 milliliters of water. It's a little much. I'll pour some back. Okay, perfect. And here's another one. Hundred milliliters of water for the other one. Now, what we should do as scientists, so we don't forget, is label. So I'm going to label. This one had 100, or actually it had 90, didn't it? This one had 90 milliliters of salt. Okay, 90. And my other one had 45, which is half. So I labeled that one so I don't forget which is which. Pour my water in. Okay. Now I need to sort of stir both of these. Now, of course, I didn't bring my spoons today, but I have a lab assistant today. So I'm going to tell my lab assistant to bring me some spoons. Hold on. Oh, lab assistant, I need a spoon, please. Yes, please. So we'll see if my trusty lab assistant, since it's after school, will bring me my spoon so we can stir it up. Then it says, do not add salt to the third cup. So I'm going to put 100 milliliters of water in this one, and I'm going to put no salt. So I'm going to put a 0 here. Okay, so let's see if we can fix our camera so you can see all three. There's my lab assistant. Thank you, lab assistant. She brought me a spoon. So I can stir, stir, stir. Oh, wow, this is really thick. My students probably think I'm crazy. What is my mom doing? I never make messes. Well, I make messes in my office. Kids, before I started this experiment, I spilled green juice all over my office. And on the weekend, I spilled coffee all over my office. So we'll just say my office has now been christened. Okay. Okay. So this last one has no salt. Okay, so we have 3 jars, one with 90, one with half of that, 45 milliliters of salt, one with no salt. What do you guys think we're going to do next? My kids are now very curious. The next step is to put coloring into each of these cups so that we can tell them apart when we layer them in a few minutes. So we're going to make one yellow. It's kind of an orangey color. I'm going to give that to my lab assistant, Nora. She can stir it. We're going to make one blue-ish. I'm kind of getting low on blue. Let's pray that it comes out. Oh, very, very lightly. Yes, Isla, hold on. And then my last plan, hold on, I need scissors. Oh no, somebody over the weekend took my scissors. Somebody over the weekend took my scissors. So, Noni, I would like you to go get me some scissors. Thanks, Isla. Okay, so we have one that's kind of blue color. And my plan was to mix the blue and the yellow to make a greenish color, but I'm getting a little low on blue. So let's hope it pulls through. Thank you, Nora. You're going to color. You're going to do this without making a big mess. This is my green color. Look at that green color. That's nice. Okay, lab assistants, that's all I need. I will let you guys go. Thanks, lab assistants. Nope, I need to finish. Thank you, lab assistants. Okay, so we have blue, green, and orange. Let me get my lab assistants out of here, guys, so I can finish. Thank you. All right, my crazy children. Okay, so let's see. Now our next step is to mix all the colors. Use an eyedropper to add the saltiest water to the cylinder to a height of 20 milliliters. So here is my cylinder. 20 is about right here. The one with the most amount of salt was our 90. The camera. There we go. Is our 90, and I have to use an eyedropper. I don't really love this view of this camera. Let's see if we can change it. There we go. Oh, no, it won't let me change the camera when I'm in the middle of my lesson. That's okay. We're still learning. So now I need to take my eyedropper and fill my cylinder to 20 milliliters. Let's see, one eyedropper. Ooh, I can hear the salt going in. Okay, I'm almost to 20. Stir it up a little bit. Oh, at this rate, it's going to take forever, but this is fun if you're doing it at home because using an eyedropper is a lot of fun. I'll try to go a little faster. Okay. I'm almost there. Okay, let's look at the next step. So the next step is to fill the cylinder to 40 with the medium salty water. So that is the one that we filled to 45. So what do you guys think? So if the beginning of the experiment said that water that has the highest salinity, which means the water with the most salt, it should be at the bottom of the ocean. So let's see if that is true. So now we need to add 20 milliliters, just stirring it a little bit more. This one's not super, the color is not super. Let's see. It shouldn't mix, right? I got a new eyedropper when I did this part because I didn't want to mix my different waters. When you are doing science, you want to be careful and control all your variables. So far, all I'm getting is kind of a nice yellow color. Let's see what happens. Oh, I can hear my girls in the next room watching YouTube. Pretty soon I have to go and do homework with them. Okay, let's see. All right, so now I've added the 90 milliliter salted water to the bottom, which was an orange color. And then I added, it's hard to see in the light, then I added the blue, which had half the amount of salt. And now it says to add my water that has no, maybe if I move this up higher, we'll see a little bit better. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to add my non-salted water. I'm going to get another new eyedropper. Why not? Since I have about 500 of them. And let's add another 20 and see what happens. Does it mix or does it go to the top? Let's see. Oh, this is really cool. I wonder if you guys can see this at home. So what is happening here? First, I put my heaviest or my highest salinity. Then I put my next one that had half the amount of salt. And now my water that has no salt is going in. And what do you guys see? You should see nice layers. So we see that the water that has no salt is floating on top. So what does that mean for our question? Does water in the ocean, does it layer itself? And how do those layers form? Where is the saltiest part of the ocean and where is the least saltiest or least saline part of the ocean? Move my camera. I'm sorry, I'm getting used to using this camera. So then it says, let it sit for a while. There's a close-up view. It says, redo the experiment this time, but do not add any salt to the water. What do you think will happen? So I'm going to let you guys figure that out. When you are doing this at home, actually, if you do this experiment, this is one of the work samples I'm collecting for the next round. So it has this page, and it says to draw what the types of water look like in the cylinder. So you will draw the layers of, we saw a little bit of orange, a little bit of blue, and then the green floated on top. And then I want you to repeat this experiment. It says to repeat it with just water, colored water, no salts. So I'm going to stop the camera for now so we can discuss together in science.